Yo, what's up? I got myself a knife that I want to check out here. Um, yeah, but before that, I suppose I'm going to talk just a couple of seconds here about the fact that, well, I got an Apple Watch. Well, I use an iPhone 13 here for recording my videos and stuff like that. There is something about this that I wanted, and that is enhance. I can, yeah, zoom in and out with this thing. Without touching that. So, yeah, so it doesn't have to wiggle and look all ugly and stuff like that if I do want to zoom in a lot. I'm kind of happy about that. Was it expensive for just that kind of feature? Yes, absolutely. There's no getting around that. And the fact that it doesn't have a band on it is the fact that my wrists are large just like the rest of me. Just tiny bit shy of 9 inches around. So I need to basically find a decent watch band that I can end up adding links onto. And I'm not really interested in spending about $1 million on it. So yeah, I'm kind of looking at that. But okay, yeah, we are talking about the QSP Snipe. I got this guy very cheap off of White Mountain Knives. Somebody had returned it. And it was considered used, so it was discounted quite a bit. Geez, I want to say I paid maybe like $32 for it, somewhere right around there. You know, one of those impulse buy kind of things when I saw it available. And yeah, when I opened it up, pulled it out of the box, I did see just a little bit of tape glue on, around the tip there. So they definitely use it to, if at the very least, open up a couple of packages that they probably got around the same time that they got this. Or, they dismembered a cardboard box or two with it and then decided that they didn't like it. And I can probably see the reason why they weren't super into that. Just kind of me... Whoops. Thinking out loud there, but there we go. I was looking for a microfiber cloth here. But yeah, you can see this thing is quite thick. It's a saber grind, so just straight up, flat, halfway down the blade kind of saber grind. So it's not full flat or anything like that. This thing is much more of a bruiser as far as blade geometry goes. This isn't going to be like a lot of Civivi's very, very thinly ground behind the edge, really just designed for slicing, but lacks a lot of meat. And yes, this thing is quite thick behind the edge. I've just finished putting my own edge on there, so it is, super nice and mirror polishy and stuff like that. And, well... Sure, I got some some foam book paper there. Yeah, definitely. Slice is super nice. This thing wasn't dull out of the box, but, it was sold as used. So, there's that. This thing is heavy. I want to guess it's over 5 ounces, but I haven't really done a huge amount of measurements on it, so let's go ahead and do that. Oof, yeah, 5.18 ounces, or just shy of 147 grams. It's pretty heavy. Here's the QSP Gavial, which is or Gavial. I don't know exactly how you pronounce this nice name, but I'd taken a look at this one in the past, and yep, much lighter. Yeah, well under 5 ounces for this guy. And this is a full 4-inch blade, or nears makes no difference, I do believe. Yeah. And this one is definitely less than that. Yeah, just under 3.5. It was basically like 3.35 to 3.4, somewhere right around there. So yeah, very, very heavy duty there. It's got a really aggressive peel-ply kind of texture on there. You can see after I've swipe my thumb on there a little bit. Yeah, it's probably left a little bit of flakes of my thumb left on there. It's nowhere near as aggressive as the old Emerson and Cold Steels are, but much more aggressive than you might be used to with a lot of Spyderco's G10 and stuff like that. Speaking of that, I should probably go ahead and do some blade comparisons and things like that. So there's the paramilitary 2. Yeah, it's fairly similar in those dimensions. Here's the Kalashnikov 74 from Boker. Just a little bit smaller. Let's see. Well, it's over here. I got the Endura. And my bedraggled old Benchmade 940. And, of course, we'll go with the Rat number 1, which, yeah, it's a fairly large knife, especially in the handle for this guy here. I have not taken this thing apart at all. I've just basically ended up doing the sharpening on it, and the action on it, I think I can get it a little bit better, but it's definitely a wiggle shot. I mean, it certainly makes sense with how thick the blade stock is on this thing. I did measure it. I think I got like 3.4. Yeah, basically 3.4 millimeters. It feels thicker than that, but I think it's probably just the saber grind instead of a full flat grind, which I'm much more used to. The action on it, as far as that goes, it's pretty darn good. The detent, maybe not the absolute crispest thing in the world, but very much works, unless, you know, you want to intentionally fail it, which you can do by using kind of the flat part of your finger. With that, I can fail basically anything I want, so, you know, whatever. It's not necessarily important one way or the other. But, yeah, we got a fairly heavy blade. We have this stainless steel back spacer as well as a barrel spacer up here. That comes out to your little lanyard point as well as an impact sort of thing here. From what I've figured, it's the most comfortable for me if the blade is facing in towards the palm, and I can kind of wrap my thumb around there to use that impact tool, if that's what you are indeed kind of doing there. If you grab it this way, that flipper tab is really uncomfortable in the thumb, so you really don't want to grab it that way. Yeah, so there's that. This clip is a little bit interesting. It's different than some of their other stuff, like this guy on the Gavial here, where we can see we have 2 holes instead of the slot there. And this one is bent a lot more traditionally like a Spyderco and Benchmade would do. And this one's just a little bit more minimal in a way, but just a little bit sleeker, I guess. Yeah. We do have screws that end up sticking out above there, but it is countersunk into the G10 there. And, well, I haven't tried this in crazy thick winter work pants, but, you know, my standard work pants fare from Carhartt and sweatpants and all that sort of stuff. I had no problems with those screws kind of grabbing on there, so that's definitely great. And also, something that it does have in common with the Gavial is left-handed access there, so that's nice. I know a lot of companies won't do that because they think it looks ugly. I would kind of prefer that it be there rather than not, just for those people who want to do that, and or have the option, like I will carry a less used knife or something like that in my offhand, which means I want it to have a left side clip or something like that. But, you know, a lot of people in law enforcement will also have offhanded sort of things, and having a left-sided clip on there definitely helps a lot for being able to do that. Let's see. I have a whole bunch of other QSPs that I kind of wanted to pull out here to show its largestness, if that's definitely not a word, but we'll go with it. A lot of them that I have from QSP aren't super large. Let's see. I think the other largest one I have is the Gannet here. And that's just a little bit smaller, I suppose, but definitely much more sleek. And I don't know. We got the hawk going on right there. And then we got a penguin. And there's a leopard. And I'll go up top. Of course, I got the parrot, one of my favorite knives ever. And then, yeah, that's the one in G10. That's the same as that. And I also have that one in denim micarta, but it's upstairs as a utility knife that gets used all the time. So yeah, this is fairly large for QSP as far as, I guess, the knives that I've ended up picking up from them. I don't have a whole bunch of, enormous knives like this, though, so I just kind of wanted to pull that out and kind of do a little bit of comparisons on there. That, and, it was a nice excuse to pull out all the other QSPs that I don't end up using all the time. So there is one thing that I have noticed that is a little worrisome on this. It has to do with how close the tip is to out there. So you can't really reach in there even if you really wanted to touch that. However, a few sharpenings and possibly if you've done something stupid with the tip to break that off and fix it. And yeah, you can see that not much past the detent point, that tip becomes very much proud of those liners. So I would kind of wish that the blade sat a little bit deeper in there. It has the room to do that as well. Let's see. I can go ahead and... There we go. You can see that the blade is nowhere near this barrel spacer here. And even, as long as that's in focus, even farther away from that barrel spacer there, or the back spacer. And as you can see from the inside there, yeah, it's nowhere near it. So they could have buried the that guy a little bit in there deeper, but yeah, that would have changed just a little bit of the dimensions on the blade. But hey, what are you gonna do? Yeah, the detent strength is pretty good, as I had mentioned. If I completely forgot about it, it's D2. Obviously, that's probably going to be in the thumbnail and description and all of that. So, that's probably not really all that worth going over. Fairly thick behind the edge, like I said. That was probably the reason why the other person didn't like it all that much and returned it. This is much more of a heavy-duty, hard use kind of knife. This would be probably something great for, construction sites, sort of things like that. Obviously, using a lot of the tool steel and stuff like that, if you're cutting open bags of concrete, it will help a little bit with the carbides and the tool steel over other things. So that might help out a little bit. But yeah, this is not super duper slicey. But, yes, so I've got the weight down, I got the blade length. I suppose I should probably go ahead and do the handle thickness here. And yeah, pretty close to 0.6 of an inch. Fairly thick. As I had mentioned, it's basically a tenth of an inch thicker than the PM2 there. But because of that, it does give you a lot of positive purchase when you are getting those nice grips going on there. And it works out pretty well for using it in, a relaxed saber grip, or if you want to get your thumb up on those really large, more crenellations than jimping, but certainly works out super well there. And you can end up doing that hammer grip. For me, it's for the most part comfortable, but if I'm really squeezing in that hammer grip sort of thing, if I was going to do something weird like doing feather sticking with a folding knife, which I suppose in a pinch you could end up doing, but you should probably do that with a fixed blade if you're out there for those sort of activities. It does kind of push my hand a little bit up into the flipper tab there. It is all nice and rounded, so it's not really biting into me all that much, but it's feelable, so it could become a hot spot if that's your preferred method of using most knives. Then there you go. And obviously, use a pinch grip, super nice and comfortable, but I like a pinch grip on almost anything, so... You do have nice lock bar access here. We got some scallops going on in that little radial liner thing there. Makes that really nice and easy to do. So yes, I want to take a look on the inside of this. So for, I guess, the other people who aren't really all that interested in being on the inside, then hey, I appreciate you for stopping by, taking a look at this guy with me. And for everybody else, yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. As soon as I can find my screwdrivers here, since I've buried them in QSP knives over on the corner. All right, T6 here. Yep. And yeah, that's T6 for the for these back spacer screws. They are definitely screwed in tight. Yeah, 'cause I'm not seeing much thread locker on them. There is some, for sure. All right, and yes, T8. Obviously, that's going to keep moving from the other side. Yes. This has a bit more thread locker all up in it. Oh man, that's got tons of thread locker in there. Enough so that I'll probably want to try to clean that out a little bit beforehand. But yeah, I wasn't really expecting everything to be built that way, but we'll go ahead and disassemble it there. Good. We don't have any screws hidden on the inside, but it's definitely gripping onto that back spacer. Here's my my Jimmy. Yeah, it doesn't want to move at all. Oh, there we go. It's starting to loosen up just a little tiny bit. Wiggle it around. There we go. Yeah, so it's got some grease and stuff like that on the inside there. That's definitely what this crap is. It's I don't think that's corrosion, but either way, I can easily fix that up. So yeah, we got the barrels there. These aren't Chicago screws, so you do have to unscrew them from both sides there. We do have ceramic bearings, and these things are pretty tiny. Quite tiny indeed. That just means they can stuff basically one more in there. In that same kind of area. But yeah, otherwise it's pretty much standard fare on the inside there. Very much set up like either the Hawk or the Leopard here. Obviously, these are using different steel. I think they're both 14C. Yeah. Whereas this is D2 and G10, obviously, and they've definitely priced it appropriately. So, yeah, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and finish up the video with that, because I do want to end up kind of cleaning all of this stuff out, and that's going to make a really, really long, boring video, so I won't bore you with that. But yeah, as always, I appreciate y'all for watching, and have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, yo. Subscribe, please.